Greetings, everybody. I'm Joe Yasharoff, Director of Content at Montgomery Community Media in Rockville, Maryland, and the host of MoCo's Most Famous. Today's special guest is the youngest we've ever had on the show, gymnast Kayla DiCello. She's a native of Boyds, Maryland, graduated from Northwest High School in Germantown, and now is lighting it up as a freshman at the University of Florida. She was the 2019 Junior World Vault Champion, the 2019 U.S. Junior National All-Around Champion, won a bronze medal in the world medal all around that year. Kayla was an alternate for the 2021. It was the 2020, but it became the 2021 U.S. Olympic team. And this week, she was named the SEC Freshman of the Year. Kayla, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's start with what's happened in the last few days. It wasn't a surprise to anybody because you kept winning SEC Freshman of the Week, but you know, when you hear your SEC Freshman of the Year, how do you feel about that?
That makes me really happy because, well, this is my freshman year of college, and just to start off by getting that award is amazing. I love gymnastics and I love doing it here, and it's been so much fun. So I think this is just shows that I've been working for this, and this is something that I love to do.
Yeah, and you know, I think some people just think things happen automatically and easily for talented people. You know, obviously you were a great gymnast before you got to Florida, but to win it, to actually do the work and to compete and to do so well and to get tens and to beat some incredibly talented people in the SEC. Can you take us kind of through how much work it takes for someone like you at that level to be successful?
It does definitely take a lot of work because, I mean, you're in the gym, you're practicing, but you kind of have to look at it you can't just be in the gym and put in all the work. It really matters what you do outside the gym too. Pretty much just taking care of your body, eating right, getting enough sleep, all the little factors that go into it. And just being in the gym, and it's a lot of the same thing over and over again, getting it right until you can feel confident enough about it.
Now, with all that hard work, is there fun? I mean, is it fun doing what you're doing, even though it's such hard work?
Oh yeah, it's definitely fun. My team is amazing. I think the people you surround yourself with definitely play a big part in it. And I think my team does really well, and we all have fun during practice, but we know what we need to work on and get done.
Why did you choose Florida? How did you choose Florida?
Well, I knew that I always wanted to stay in the SEC, stay somewhat close to home, and I chose Florida because the gymnastics program here is amazing, the school here is amazing, and just when I came and visited this school, I knew that this was the place that I wanted to be.
One of your teammates, Trinity Thomas, is a pretty good gymnast as well. How important, how much of a factor was that, knowing that she was there and having another talented person there with you? At least others as well, but I mean, Trinity specifically.
Well, when I first committed here, I actually didn't know Trin was going to stay a fifth year and be here with me, but just to be able to come in and train at the same university as her. And I'm lucky enough to train with her this year, and it's been a lot of fun, and I love every moment of it.
So I mentioned, actually before we started the interview, there's another MoCo athlete at Florida, Katie Ledecky. I don't know how often gymnasts run into swimmers, but have you had a chance to run in? How well do you know Katie?
I don't know her that well. I've seen her around, but yeah, the swimmers in the gymnast, we see each other in the dining hall, but that's pretty much about it.
Can you take inspiration from somebody, obviously that's not in your sport, but someone like Katie, who's the best in the world at what she does?
Yeah, definitely. She's amazing, and she's here and she's doing swimming and continuing her career.
So you're an all-around gymnast. I'm sure you've been asked a lot of times, what do you consider your best event? Do do you take, and how much pride do you take in being good at all of them? Because I guess you have to be good at all of them, but is there one that is your favorite?
Um, I really love doing bars. I've always loved training bars. I would always spend the most time there during practices, and I think I really love them all. They're all, like, a lot of fun, and I think being here in college has made it a lot more fun, like, the floor routines are a lot different, like, the whole crowd gets involved, the whole like, not just through the floor routines, but, like, through the whole meet, and I think that's, like, a really fun experience.
What is it about gymnastics that you love now and that you've, I think I read that you started when you were 2, so you probably don't even remember, or maybe you do. What is it that drew you to gymnastics and why you love it so much?
I love gymnastics because I think it's very unique and it's very different, and it's not like a bunch of the other sports, but I think something that I love about it is the the teammates that I've made and all, like, the friendships that I've made, and just the competitiveness through everybody and everyone wanting to push each other, almost like one up each other. So I love that.
What are your goals now moving forward? You won SEC Freshman of the Year, and there's more stuff ahead, obviously. So what are some of the goals that you'd like to share with us?
Well, just contribute to the team as much as I can, as possible as I can, and at the end of the year when it's finished, win a national championship.
Okay. You kind of spoke about it, but so gymnastics is an individual sport, but it's also very much a team sport. So do you like the combination of individual and team aspects in that sport?
Yeah, I do because it's like you're doing it like gymnastics is for yourself, but it's also for your team. So it's like both factors play a role in it.
So you're 19 and you've already accomplished quite a lot, but there's a
Mhm.
lot more to accomplish. So do you ever sit back and say, you know what, I've had a pretty good career so far?
Um, I've actually never thought of it, thought about, like, looking back at everything, but I am very proud of everything that I've done so far.
So one thing that lays ahead is in a year and a half is the Olympics, the 2024 Olympics. We mentioned at the top that you were on the 2020 team that became the 2021 team. How much is that? Is that in the back of your mind? Is that in the forefront? Is it somewhere in between?
That thought has definitely not left my mind. Yeah, it's, like, somewhere in between.
Okay. What was the experience like? You were an alternate. So was that great that you made the team as an alternate? Was it disappointing that you didn't make, the team not as an alternate? So what was that when you think back, what kind of memory was that for you?
I would say it's a mix of both. I was very happy that I was able to go and get some experience, but I was also kinda disappointed because I know that I could have made the team if I, like, hadn't fallen on bars. So but I think it was a good learning process, definitely.
Do you think that makes you better and more prepared for the next time?
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately, like all of us, but lived through COVID. But as a teenager, that was really, I don't want to speak for you, but rough on a lot of people. How did you get through COVID as a gymnast, as a person? How difficult was that for you?
For me, it wasn't too difficult. Um, I was lucky enough to be able to still train during COVID. It was just me and my sisters in the gym, and but besides, like, being in the gym, like, me and my family would do, like, extra stuff, like, we would do yoga together at home, or we would all do, like, a little Peloton workout,
Mhm.
so just to keep up with everything.
All right, so let's go back to the kid from Boyds. So, what kind of kid were you? What kind of young kid were you growing up?
Um, I guess I just like to just do everything and have some fun. I mean, I did swimming when I was growing up. I played a lot of sports growing up, and gymnastics was the one that stuck.
Did you think you were going to pursue other sports? And at what point did gymnastics, what did you decide that that's the one?
When well, growing up, I used to like do soccer, basketball, but I knew that was all just for fun. But then I did swimming in the summer and I was really good at swimming and I loved doing swimming. But then it came to a point where swimming was like interfering with gymnastics. So then I was like, gymnastics is the sport for me.
Was there a moment doing something in gymnastics where you said, you know what, I'm pretty good and I kind of like this? Can you remember a moment or something like that?
I don't think there was ever really a moment. I think just when I went to the gym, I was always having a lot of fun and just being around everyone that I was with.
So what kind of things did you do other than sports growing up in Montgomery County?
Hang out with my friends, go shopping. That was pretty much it. Go to school.
Normal kid stuff, right?
Yeah.
I forgot to ask you, at Florida, what are you studying?
I'm doing sports management.
Okay, and have you thought down the road, I mean, what you want to do with that potentially, or is it difficult to focus on that while you're being a gymnast?
I haven't quite figured that out yet, but yeah.
You don't have to because you're a freshman. It's okay. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Um, who has been some of the most influential people for you in your life so far?
My parents. Um, they've like they've been there for me through like all the good times and the bad times, and they've been very helpful through putting me through gymnastics because I know it's probably not the easiest thing to do. And I think I'm like grateful for them.
What has been maybe not, or maybe the hardest lesson you've learned, or a hard lesson that you've learned kind of along the way?
Um, I think just like knowing that things happen for a reason and that with every single piece that comes, there will be something you can learn out of it, whether it's good or bad.
Who is your harshest critic,
Myself.
and how hard of a critic are you on yourself?
Well, I expect a lot from myself, so I know that, and I have like very high expectations. So sometimes when I don't make them, I will like get frustrated or have to remind myself that it's okay and I can try again tomorrow or like it's not the end of the world.
Are there times where you do something gymnastics wise, your teammates say, hey, great job, the coaches, great job, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking, you know what, that wasn't as good as I can do, or I messed this little thing up?
Yes, that happens a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
What are you working on now? Are there areas or an event that you think you need to do a little extra on as you move forward?
I think it for me, vault kind of just like trusting myself a little bit more. This vault's still pretty new to me, so I'm still getting used to it, but yeah.
Who are some of the gymnasts that you admired growing up and still admire?
I always admired Courtney Coupettes, like Dominic Dawes, Elise Ray, everyone that came from my gym that was an Olympian, and just because they train at the same gym as me, they train under the same coach as me, and I've always looked up to them.
Phil's gymnastics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now Dominique, I happen to know, and not only is she a great gymnast, but she's a great person, a great mentor. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe some of the things, anything that you want to share that maybe Dominique has talked to you about or helped you with, or just anything with Dominique?
She used to come into the gyms. This was when I was very little. Um, I just remember she would just like come in and everyone would be like really happy and like, oh my gosh, she's here. But that's pretty much about it.
Okay. And she's opened up a gymnastics and ninja academy in Clarksburg, and then she's opening a second one actually next month. So she has really given a lot to the sport and some of the the horrible issues with gymnastics. She's spoken out about it, so she's there to help. So does that mean something to you, knowing that you have someone in the gymnastics world? And I'm sure there are others who kind of who know things that happen and who want to make sure it never happens again.
Yeah, I think it's good because, I mean, there was a lot that went on,
Yeah.
so just yeah.
All right. So other than gymnastics, what do you like to do? What makes you happy?
I just like to do some self-care, like, take care of myself a lot.
All right. So in where okay, so 2024, let's talk a little more Olympics. So that is what, a year and a half from now? I think so.
Mhm.
We're so it's like July, August of 2024. What would it mean to you to make the team, to be a part of that team at the age of, I guess you'd be 21, something like that?
Mhm.
What would that mean to you?
Um, that would be amazing because 'cause I've always dreamed of going to the Olympics, making the Olympic team. I think it would just show that, like, all the work that I put in has is being, like, shown by making the Olympic team.
You talked about your parents, so let's go back to them. What kind of support now that you're in college, you're away from home? How does that dynamic change? With your parents, I'm sure they come and visit you sometimes, and you come visit them. But how has that changed? And has that been a difficult transition, not having them, kind of around, like with anybody who goes to college?
For me, it hasn't been too difficult just because 'cause I'm used to traveling a lot and being away from my parents, but I talk to my parents pretty regularly, so it's not that big of a difference, I think, and they see me every weekend at each meet, so that's been very nice.
And what about your siblings? Are you able to maintain contact with them? I know they're probably all busy and you're busy, but you still talk to them a lot?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Favorite part of being a Florida student, University of Florida student? Another tough
Um,
question.
well, I love the weather down here, and I love the environment, like, with the people and my team and friends, just everybody is very nice and very welcoming.
Well, that is Kayla DiCello. Best of luck, Kayla. Really appreciate you joining us on MoCo's Most Famous. Your performance today was definitely a 10.0. And I'm Joe Yasharoff. Thanks so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time on MoCo's Most Famous. Have a great day, everybody.